praise from Greg's Mowing. Hello, welcome to this video. This is a review of the new Ford Ranger Wildtrack, which is the 2019 slight facelift model with a new 2 litre bi-turbo, so 2 turbos, diesel pickup truck. So in this video I'll be showing you a walk around the outside of the truck, show you the inside, and I'll get the opinions of it from 1 or 2 other tradesmen. I've been driving it for a day so far after using a Transit Custom. As you may know if you've seen my other videos, this is a completely different vehicle to drive. Same diesel engine ultimately, but again another turbo, 10-speed automatic gearbox, and it goes like a stamp rat. It is amazing what this thing can do. So yeah, I got it for a few days. I'll do what I think of it, what miles per gallon I get out of it when I'm about to give it back. So here we are, the all new 2019 Ford Ranger. And so starting from the front, this is, I think, what I can tell the main differences, and I was speaking with the dealer about it. Now this isn't a standard, that's what the dealer put on. So here it's got the cutouts, and same here, which is new, and this whole grille area is different colour to the paintwork, so that will be the same colour regardless of that. And where the old ones you would have a bumper coming along here, now that's all changed, different fog light, and also got daytime running LEDs, very nice. Yeah, I'm not a Ranger expert, so I'm just sort of saying what I do know, and I know it is quite a big old vehicle. I think it's about 5.3 meters long. And so it's got this box on it. I don't know how much it is. It's good and bad. I've only used it for a day and I've already discovered a few things I don't particularly like about it. So we'll just open this up. I've got some stuff ready for work on Monday. First thing I will say, this tailgate is very light, so some people might say it's good, some people might say it's bad. Why is it so light? But it's nice that it is. And so yeah, you've got all this room, excuse the rake and the chain. Yeah, I think it's over a metre, definitely. I don't know the exact specs. Good if you're putting big stuff in, where I was at Costco last night and we had a few boxes of bits. You have to end up climbing in to get the stuff if you haven't got a rake with you. So, but that's not just a Ford thing, that's a pickup in general design. If it didn't have the box, it would be easier. But yeah, if you think, if you had to reach something, say in line with the wheel arch, I'm leaning here, I can just about get here. So yeah, good if you're carrying big stuff. So if you're doing like your shopping, you might best off using the back of the cab. But yeah, so that's that. It's got lots of tie down points. I think it's about 3 on each side, which is pretty good. So it's got fuel ready, as I say, for Monday. You have to do it in this order. You can't pull that down with that down. So this being the Wildtrack model, this is in sea grey they call it. Looks a bit sort of magnetic-y / blue to me. So it's been double cab. You can only get them in double cab for those that don't know. So you've got your ISOFIX points here, the same the other side. Nice armrests, more cup holders, always useful. And if you were to break down, well, have a flat tyre rather, to get to your jack, little lever down here, pull that, seats come up, there's your puncture repair stuff and a little cubby hole. Nice little design. These don't stay up, so it's not designed to be up for long. And then here you've got a 12 volt standard stuff, little thing here for whatever, and a 150 watt plug. Don't go thinking you can put a microwave to this. I have heard of people doing that. It just blows the fuse. Plenty of storage in the doors. So the thing the Wildtrack has over the models down from this, because this is like the highest one before you get to the Ranger Raptor. So this has the 18-inch alloy wheels. It's got these funny side steps, which I'll get to a bit later on. Heated foldable door mirrors with puddle lights with side indicators. We'll go through show the screen in a minute, but that comes with sat nav as standard. And the seats now are all leather. Now, I don't know what they were before, but from what I heard they were really bright in the Wildtrack colours, and now they've sort of dulled that down a bit, which I think looks a bit nicer. It's got ambient lighting and the Wildtrack foot mats. So getting in, it's not quite as easy to get in and out of, you might know that reference. You would think you'd have to climb that, but me being 6'2" or whatever, it's not high enough to climb like a van. So you sort of have to lunge in a bit, and as a result you've got quite a big step to get out the truck rather. So it's automatic. You get your 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. You've got things like parking sensors, turn them off, stop start. Now I always, as soon as I turn the truck on, push that button. So I always turn it off, because if you go to traffic lights or roundabouts, whatever, it will cut out. And that's a bit annoying if you have to quickly go, if you find you have enough room to go safely. Hill descent control and diff lock, and that's your traction control. You can turn that off. 2 12 volt sockets here. Big screen, we'll try and get that on in a second. 2 cup holders, a nice handbrake, a little bit close to you. If you have stuff in your pocket, like a phone or whatever, it is a bit snug. And here, the glove box. We've got little room here for pens and stuff like that. And then big cubby hole. There's a little dial down here that you can turn. It tells you in the manual what way you turn it, but it allows cool air to go in there, so that's good for your beer or steaks or whatever. Just keep cool on the way home. Nice little touch, that. Right, we'll turn the ignition on. To being automatic, to start the engine you have to have your foot on the brake, and because if you have a foot on the brake, that little light comes up. But as we're not going to start the engine, just push that. Dash comes on. Yelling at me. So those who have been at any Fords lately will know all about this screen, the Ford Sync. It's really easy and it really works well. Like this climate control, this is nice and fairly easy to use. Sat nav is pretty good. Sat nav is nice, it's fairly simple destination, then you search where you want to go. Mobile apps, you have to prefer to use Apple CarPlay, or if you have an Android for whatever reason, you plug your cable into one of them. Might do that in a sec. It's your general settings. It's, if you're used to iPhone and how a simple device is, it's really easy to use, to get on with. With presets, you've got effectively 3 rows of 6 settings that you can choose just for DAB, and that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of choice. Turn it off. So let's quickly plug in iPhone and show you what the Apple CarPlay looks like. Here are Apple CarPlay. You've got now playing, so that'll be the music you're playing. The rest is fairly straightforward. Yeah, that for the radio and everything, nice and easy. Audio books and all that, and then this shows you, like, if you were using Google Maps and what you're playing, and search for stuff like that. So there you are, pretty good. And there's probably one of the, not many vehicles left with a CD player. Not many vehicles have them nowadays. So I'll just start the engine. I'll show you what I mean about all the buttons. So if you were to get stop start, now that's off. So that has a light. I have to turn parking sensors off. Oh, how about that? Light there. Turn traction control off. Diff lock, you can see it down there. Turn it off. Hill descent. So 4 in high range, 4 in low. Turn that off. And so yeah, it's a very nice place to be. One thing I will say, as like a driver's point of view, if you had something again in this pocket and you want to get to the buttons for the seat, it can be tight, depends what sort of build you are. Again, electric windows. Then you've got your many different things in here. It's for your mirrors, that's like light for the back, and the usual dashboard dimming, headlights, fog lights. They're all very nice. These are quite nice. They thought quite cleverly to turn them off. Slide it all the way so that's fully open. Then so that's a nice little design there. Praise from Greg's Mowing. So fully open there, off. Oh, to show you the glove box, decent size. Got your documents with your locking wheel nut, your shiwi. That's about it really. You've got this sunglasses holder. This is a bit, feels a bit cheap, which bit of a letdown really. These are nice. It's a nice rough texture, but it's all black and it's quite there you go, mirror. Be a light. And turn it off and do all that usual stuff. Nothing new. Yeah, you've got a few lights. It is quite dark in here, I'll be honest. If that wasn't on, It's pretty dark, but hey ho. So yeah, as I hope you found that useful, and I'll get some opinions from some tradesmen, and I'll report back. Right, so I'm here with Robin Clevitt, who's a carpenter. I'm just going to get his sort of impression of the Ranger, and yeah, see what he thinks.
All right, Greg, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Mate, this is a nice tool, isn't it?
It's lovely.
It's very, very nice.
Yeah.
I've had a go in a couple of the rivals, and I know that price-wise this is sort of similar money to the rivals, but I'll tell you what, mate, it's very imposing. It looks like the sort of American trucks. Yeah. It's probably the biggest truck on the road, isn't it, in England, I would say? Yeah,
yeah, probably, yeah, definitely one of the anyway.
Yeah, and it's a Ranger, but tell me, it's bi-turbo, yeah?
Bi-turbo, yeah.
And it's diesel.
Yep. Yeah, 2 litre diesel.
2 litre? I mean, that's incredible, isn't it?
Basically same diesel that's in the Transit and the Transit Custom.
Right.
But with another turbo on it.
Right. Well, I mean, I must admit, you've had this for a day or so now.
Yeah.
You've been smoking around in it, and you said it's pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's important to me, because if you're using a truck or a van all day long, you know, you're tearing around and all the rest of it, just to have power and comfort is really key. And the interior of this thing, I must admit, mate, I'm super amazed. It's just like, it's like a luxury car.
Yeah.
I mean, this can't be a standard thing. This beautiful leather, is it standard?
It's standard on this Wildtrack version, yeah.
Is it? And yeah, it's got electric seat on this side, I hear.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a bit of meat, isn't it? Let's have a little. Should we try and start it? I want to hear it.
Try and start it, yeah?
Yeah. That's it. There's the key, so it's obviously keyless entry, keyless start. Blimey, the steering's light, isn't it?
Yeah, electric.
Electric steering.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What about fuel economy? What do you reckon?
It's not, well, at the end of the day, it is a truck. It's not a tiny little car. It's about 29 miles per gallon-ish, but that isn't even with towing, so...
Yeah, and that's round town, obviously.
Yeah, that's, a bit of round town, a little bit of motorway. Also a little bit of, as it's a demo vehicle, give it a bootful driving.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
If you're more careful, you probably get a bit more.
And I notice it's automatic with Tiptronic, so you can select the gears, but do they do a manual version of this?
I'm not sure about in this one. The lower models you can.
Right.
You can, this model you can get 3.2 diesel, which they've had for ages. You can get that in 6-speed manual or 6-speed automatic.
And this is a what?
This is a 10-speed automatic.
10-speed automatic,
So
that's phenomenal. I've got a car which is 8-speed, and I thought that was mad.
Yeah.
My Mercedes Vito is 7-speed, which I thought was pretty mad, because that's where the economy's going to come from. So if you're on a run, you know, if you're doing 100 miles in this and you're on the motorway and you're ticking along in temp, you're going to be burning hardly any gas. It's just going to be ticking along quite nicely, isn't it? I think that's where it comes from. And also, I suppose, for if you are towing, for example, I know you've got low ratio gearbox, but you don't select that. It's probably automatic. Is it the low ratio gearbox?
Well, usually for towing, you would want rear wheel drive anyway for towing, which it is standard, or else you can put it into 4 high, which might make it easier. So a bit more like a Land Rover or something, where it's always 4-wheel drive.
Day drive, and you're going to leave it in just the rear wheel drive setting.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine it's, I mean, obviously with the rear wheel drive and the winter and all the rest of it, you've got the 4-wheel drive, so you're not going to have any issues with that. Talking of that, look at the size of them tyres and wheels. I mean, they're great, aren't they? I know it sounds funny, but that looks like a drum brake on the back there.
Probably are.
I can't see any discs.
No, I think they are drums.
Or calipers. Let's have a look in the back.
Some weird reason. So.
This is nice. It's this truck top is a Ford product, is it?
I don't think Ford themselves make it. It's another company, but Ford obviously can recommend certain companies that they would trust.
Yeah. And it's like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really nice. Great for dogs, great for the family, going out with the family.
Do you think you could get much woodwork stuff in it, or
well, I mean, it's all
just
right
for your tools?
Carrying tools. I think it's big enough to carry all the tools on it. The only thing I need a roof rack because I've got some long stuff, you know.
Yeah, it has got a little roof rack.
All right, yeah.
Which only goes the length of the back of the vehicle.
Yeah. And in terms of its size, it's the same as the previous model, the dimensions.
I'm fairly sure it is. The overall length is 5.3 metre, according to the brochure.
And looking at that grille on the front, that looks different. Yeah, so that grille's pretty mean, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's like the main sort of facelift.
Twin turbo, so you know you're going to be sucking in a lot of air there to get into them turbos.
Yeah, you've got nice daytime LED, which is all the rage now.
And this bonnet protector, is that something which isn't standard? Or
No, the dealer put that on.
It's quite nice.
Yeah, good protecting the bonnet.
So the other one looked different in terms of the spotlights. I'm sure it looked different. The older version.
Yeah, the fog light were they were different shape, and they had the bumper going over it as well.
Like that.
Something like that, I think. Yeah. As I say, I'm not a huge Ranger expert. Transit's more my game.
And you were telling me about a cyclist coming towards you, and something was flashing on the screen.
Yeah, some sort of pre-collision alert thing. It came up on the dashboards, and I've a message, and it beeped, and oh god, I thought I'd hit something or something about it, but no, it's just a little safety thing which they did warn me about, but I've never experienced that in a vehicle. It sort of shook me a little bit. I don't know where it even sensed that from. Because usually you see cars, they've got a little black square in the grille like on VWs. So
let me jump in next to me and let me reverse it around. Let's see what that camera's like.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. That's a neat looking camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, handbrake. See, I'm not used to that, you see.
Usually.
My car just turns itself on and off. Then my car's a grown-up car. Yeah, it's a good camera, isn't it? I recently did a thing for Peugeot vans, and it was all about their rear view camera, and I must admit, this is super brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah, look at the view. I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Pretty wide, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've got obviously all the other bells and whistles on it.
Oh yeah.
And see what it's like when you're reversing up against something. See what else it's going to tell me. Oh, so we've also got the parameters there. Let's see how close we can get. That's good. Yeah, I like it. Take it back to the front. It's got a decent sound to it.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Really comfortable.
Really comfy.
I like it, Greg. It's a winner, isn't it? And the interior is super luxurious. Start, stop.
Start, stop, yeah. You just push.
So you can turn it on and off, obviously.
That button, get engine on. It's all leather up here.
What's all this business up here? Light, just the lights.
Any lights, you got. This is a bit cheap, that one. But
a bit cheap? Oh, looks all right.
quite a feet, wow.
That's for your sunnies. Don't get much sun here anyway. So,
no, not in this time of year.
And this one, oh yeah, it's got all the little bits and pieces.
If you lift that bit, you've got
somewhere to hide your Red Bull.
But what is a little bit annoying is it doesn't stay
on the up position.
Open. So that's
you can't have everything, Greg. Some people are just so fussy. Yeah, it's nice, and this is a standard sort of dark interior. They come with a dark interior because obviously, if it's in the building trade, I'm covered in dust all the time. This is a little bit too nice for me. I had what they call leatherette seats in my van. Not leather, leatherette.
Leatherette.
In fact, they say they make it out of 80% leather. I don't know how they do that. Whether or not they feed cows with plastic.
I can't comment.
But I quite like it. But at least you could wash it down. But this is, I mean, if you're going to buy a van through the business, it's very good for your tax position. So you're going to get all of the VAT back. Obviously, if you're VAT registered, you can also offset the whole amount of the vehicle. in your books, which is really quite good. All of your expenses, your fuel expenses, all of your mechanical expenses, your tyres, everything is all through the business. So let's say you're a family and you haven't got much space for parking, then this is a pretty good option, because I mean, I know my missus could quite easily drive this. She drives a car equally as big, and so I would say as a family it's a great solution, because you can comfortably sit 5 in here, can't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's a really nice solution. So I mean, it might be best part of 40k or whatever it is, but if you're going to buy a really good work van and a really nice car, and you've got the insurance and everything else, and the car's not used much, this is you might as well buy this instead of spending 30k on something you don't really like.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, very good point.
And so they've kindly let you have a go at this, because I know you're a good customer and you love your Fords, and you're always saying to me, oh, when are you going to get a proper van and all the rest of it. I'll tell you what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the plug-in hybrid. I think that's a fantastic technology. My car is a plug-in hybrid. Had it for 4 years and I've thoroughly enjoyed having it. Changes your driving style. You're conscious of fuel economy. You're conscious of trying to get as many miles out of the battery as you can. And so I'm really interested. Maybe they can let you bring one of those to me, and so we can have a go at
definitely
that.
Try. Definitely try.
I think that would be really nice, Greg. And also, do you know much about that? I mean, is the size of it an issue? Is it the smallest type? Is it the long wheelbase? What's the...
I don't know about the wheelbase. From what I gather, you can still get a ton in the back.
Okay.
The payload is basically the same. Though they don't recommend towing with them. So it's a lot more for, delivery drivers around London and towns and cities.
Yeah, I think with regard to the technology, when you take electric, I know some of the manufacturers have dabbled into electric vans. I know that Mercedes had a Vito, but you never see them on the road, and the range was something like 70 miles. It was all electric, which for me, I mean, I do 100 miles a day just locally, so it would be an absolute no-no. Yeah. But I think if as and when they can bring out a van all electric, which will give you 250 miles range, and not compromise too much on top end speed and that sort of stuff, I think that's going to be a winner in the industry. I suppose the question is charging, whether you can get to work and charge it and all the rest of it, because quite often we work remotely, so we need to be full of fuel or whatever, and or access to fuel stations. But let's watch this space. I'm sure in time there'll be lots of electric vans and plug-in hybrids, and even stuff like this. Our car is a 3-litre twin turbo plug-in hybrid, and the range is only 15 miles. However, you think to yourself, why do you only want 15-mile range? A survey was done, and they said the average trip is 7 miles each way. So let's say you go to the shops and back, or go to town and back. In the UK, the average trip is 7 miles. So that works out that you could do it all on electric, and quite often we do. And we live rurally, but our towns are about 7 miles. You could just back it there and back. So actually, there's a lot more thinking behind it than people realise,
But, from what I've heard of the custom hybrid, the range is around 30 miles, something like that.
Okay.
And then they've got the 1-litre EcoBoost petrol engine, which is a award-winning engine, been around for a little while now, and that somehow keeps charging the batteries when they're getting low.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't necessarily, from what I heard, it doesn't necessarily power the wheels through the engine. It's all through the...
Okay, so that's like a generator, effectively.
Yeah. It's
almost like, because when you say 1 litre, it's not really vans that are 1 litre, Fiesta vans or something like that. I would imagine even those.
It is in the Fiesta car, the 1 litre petrol.
Is it?
It's a good little engine. I've used them before. But yeah, obviously for a van, you wouldn't think about it. But
I find that really interesting, and I take my hat off to Ford for getting into the space, the plug-in hybrid space. There are some established players that I thought would have gone that way, like the Mitsubishi, and they've had their MHEV Outlander for some time, and they did bring a van version out, but you don't see many of them around. I just think that it was hard for them to cross into the commercial van market. Whereas if you've got someone like Ford every other van on the road in the UK is a Ford, it seems.
Yeah.
You know I've got a grown-up van, a German van, but yeah, I mean, I only bought my van because of the colour. Yeah, I just thought.
Well, this is more or less the same colour.
I know. I'm pretty impressed with that. What colour is this?
Sea blue, I think they call it.
Sea blue, yeah.
Something like that.
Someone colourblind. It looks like it's dark grey to me.
Yeah, they call them funny colours, but
that sounds like paint. It sounds like paint when I go to see a customer and they go, "We want something called duck egg blue."
Oh.
And you think that's just blue, or they say we want something like elephant's breath. You think elephant's breath? What colour is elephant's breath? You know. But there you go. Designers, so you got a lot. They got a lot to answer for, haven't they? These funny names. But we're talking about it, so it must be.
Well, even white, they call it frozen white.
Ah.
So.
Well, that will appeal to the people who like Disney then. Frozen.
Well, yeah.
Mate, anyway, listen, it's really good to see you and bringing this
Thank you,
over.
Robin.
It's kind of you to come and think of us and have a look at it. And yeah, I hope you have some fun in it.
Yeah,
you've got it.
Sure will.
You won't want your van back.
No, it'll be gutless.
All you need is the trailer with your lawnmowers in.
Yeah.
No. Well, the mirrors are big enough. Look at the size of the mirrors.
The size of the mirrors. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, they'll be fine for towing.
Yeah, they'll be good.
You wouldn't need extenders on them, would you?
No.
That's for sure.
No.
Yeah. All right, Greg. Nice one.
All right. Thank you, Robin.
Thanks, mate. You're welcome.
Cheers. So now I've had this for a few days. Really enjoyed driving it. Really nice being an automatic as usual. Nice to drive. Really comfortable. Plenty of power. Averaging around 28 miles per gallon in it, so not bad considering the size of the vehicle it is. I think it weighs about 2.2 tons, so it's not bad. The thing I really like is just open that up, drop that, slide your stuff in, you know, all usual sort of stuff, but not having to pick up before, it's all new to me and it's good fun. So yeah, I hope this video's been useful, informative if you're looking for that. So yeah, thanks Ford for letting me try out this Ranger for the weekend.